Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Great lineup once again, some exciting things to talk about. Let's take a look. We'll start off with the UEFA Champions League and the fixtures that were there, and what exciting fixtures. When it's a Champions League night, you can always expect action, but action like this is a cherry on the top. We had Real Madrid versus Chelsea, and although I actually felt that Chelsea's made a comeback, which will be probably one of the most historic comebacks against Real Madrid, but once again, Real Madrid proves to us that you can never root them out. The way they performed was absolutely superb. I mean, just talk about the class of Karim Benzema and everybody else, but Real has shown us that they're truly a side that you can never ignore them when you talk about Champions League football or league football as well in La Liga. I think they've performed superbly. Chelsea, the defending champions, have been knocked out of the Champions League. Elsewhere, we had another huge upset. Bayern Munich being knocked out of the Champions League by Villarreal, who have now made it to the semi-finals of a Champions League encounter after 16 years. Unai Emery, I think we were talking a while ago in another platform as well that I think it's a trend now. You get sacked from PSG and then you become more successful elsewhere. But Arsenal fans would probably be kicking themselves, but it was fun. It was fun to see as well. But the way Villarreal, of course, performed, they've certainly deserved that spot and they're through now. And of course, we'll talk about some of the fixtures that will be there for tonight as well. But it's going to be, one thing is for sure, it's going to be an exciting semi-final lineup as well when we talk about this in detail. After that, we'll be moving on to golf. In golf, we'll be discussing the Masters 2022, where Scotty Scheffler has won it. The world number one has finished ahead of Rory McIlroy, who I was personally rooting for. I think Rory did a fantastic job, but Scotty was, of course, the better one when you talk about the Masters. All eyes were on Tiger Woods and his return, one of the greatest returns to competitive golf or competitive sports. He finished 42nd on the table, but he has once again confirmed that he will be returning for the British Open. He said that it's a course he enjoys and he's going to make a comeback because it looks like competitive golf for Tiger is once again a priority as well. That's what we're discussing on today's show. Time now to start our segment on football and to discuss it further in studios. It's been a long time we had him, but Champions League football, and you don't have this guy, I think you're going to miss it out. But finally, he's here with us in studios, sports anchor and expert, Syed Jaffar. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. It's great to be back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's almost as special as what Real have did last night.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think we have been all seeing that since Ronaldo's departure, Real really went down. They changed a lot of managers and we couldn't see them coming up and being the Wednesday night specialists as they were back in days. But I think Carlo Ancelotti's arrival in Real Madrid's camp really started to change a lot of things, as it also did to their rivals in Barcelona, because we are seeing them coming up with a lot of points in La Liga. But what Real Madrid really did against Chelsea was incredible, and we really expected it to go to Real's side in the second leg because of what happened at Stamford Bridge. We cannot forget what Karim Benzema did when he went to Stamford Bridge. It was like his second hat-trick consecutively in Champions League. He scored against Paris Saint-Germain and then he scored against Chelsea. And I think that guy is phenomenal, like the way he is playing. And I think the system of Real is always like this, that if the players up front are playing well, the whole team can come up really well from the midfield. And that's what they were missing in the last few years, and they were trying to really calculate their options by bringing a lot of players. But finally, they have found their pace up front. We see Rodrigo, we see Vinicius Jr., and then again Karim Benzema. But let's focus on this game. I think the way Real Madrid started was not really good. And I think, as you just said before the segment started, that this was probably one of the best comebacks we ever saw in Champions League, because it's not only about the goals that Chelsea scored in the first half, but it's also about the way they played. Like I was listening to some analysis, and someone was saying that it was 10 by 10 by Tuchel if we give the ratings to Tuchel, because the way he set up the team was amazing. And I think they started really well. The goal from Mason Mount, and then in the second half by Rudiger, and then by Timo Werner. Like all three goals were amazing. But then, yeah, it was just crazy, because you sometimes need a small break, which is eventually going to change the game. And that break came from 36-year-old Luka Modric. And I think you can just sit and watch that pass for like I don't know, for for a long time. So yeah, they scored an amazing goal, and that was the break I think Real needed. And after that, for the last 10 minutes, they were absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, they just scored another goal by Karim Benzema, and they're through.
Yeah, I think Benzema and Modric have not been talked about and not been praised enough. They should be, especially Benzema. When we talk about some of the top players in the world, then you can never exclude Karim Benzema. But so much into the game, all the action. We've got a report on that as well. Let's take a look, and then we'll come back. But right after this short break, stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Extra. We're discussing Champions League football, and what an exciting night it was. Let's take a look at this report and then come back.
Champions came to an agonizing end despite beating Real Madrid on a night of high drama at the Bernabeu Stadium. In a Champions League epic, Mason Mount's wonderful finish and Antonio Rudiger's powerful header wiped out Real's 3-1 first-leg advantage and brought the quarter-final tie level in Spain's capital. Thomas Tuchel's side were outstanding throughout, and Timo Werner's clever finish from an angle put them ahead for the first time on aggregate. But substitute Rodrigo, after a stunning pass by Luka Modric, forced extra time with a volleyed finish before Karim Benzema headed the decisive goal in the 96th minute to send Real through 5-4 on aggregate. On the other hand, Samuel Chukwueze scored a late winner in the tie as Villarreal stunned Bayern Munich to reach the Champions League semi-finals for the first time in 16 years. Bayern looked seemingly in control once Robert Lewandowski broke the deadlock in the 52nd minute at the Allianz Arena. Chukwueze levelled on the break in the 88th minute to give Villarreal the lead on aggregate and earn them a historic victory against the six-time European champions. Chelsea's reign.
There you have it, all you need to know about Champions League football and exciting encounters. I was just, on a lighter side saying one yellow, one the other couldn't. So that is the case. But anyways, we've discussed about the brilliance of Real Madrid. But elsewhere, I think Jaffar is still with us in studio. So I'll ask him about the Bayern Munich upset as well. Because after 16 years, Villarreal making it to the semi-finals is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's crazy because we couldn't expect Villarreal to come up like this. Also, we know that they won the Europa League last year, and that's just because of Unai Emery. We all know he is four-time Europa League winner, and the way he plays in Europa League is amazing. Like Villarreal is standing on 7th in La Liga table, but the way he comes up in knockout competitions is amazing.
And Bayern is no easy side.
Yeah, and I think everyone was saying that probably Bayern is just going to be in the finals at some cost, but I think it's just because of the transition they're having. They changed 3 managers, and this new guy came from Schalke, and I think that's the future of Bayern Munich. So they'll be steady and they'll give him the time. But Villarreal on the home leg, they scored 1 goal, and now here it was a 1-1 draw. But I think an amazing goal from Chukwueze at the end, and Lo Celso played a really good ball at the end. So I think credit goes to Villarreal. It's just a small city in Spain, and someone's saying that maybe their whole city can fit in Allianz Arena somehow, and still there'll be 25,000 seats left. But I think it's a big night for Spanish team, and City is going to play against Atletico tonight. So let's see if there are 3 Spanish teams coming up in semi-final.
What's your prediction for tonight?
I think City really need to come up with a good counter in the first half, because we know Diego Simeone can really mess up the tactics, and he's going to just park the bus at all. But let's see. And on the other side, I think it's going to be Liverpool, and from here it's going to be City probably. Yeah.
Definitely, that would be the case. Jaffar, thank you very much for joining us on Sports Extra. That's our segment wrap up. But on that note, we'll go towards a short break. We'll be right back with golf. Welcome back to Sports Extra. Time now for the Masters 2022. Golf is on the table today, and in studios we've been joined by sports expert Imran Janjua. Assalamu alaikum, Imran. How are you?
Ahmad.
Good to have you on the show. Now, an interesting competition. Let's take a look at this report, and then we'll continue the discussion.
Jaffar cemented his place as the dominant force in the men's game by winning the Masters and clinching his first major.
Outshines them all at Augusta.
Scheffler won with a 1 under 71, missing 2 short putts for a double bogey on 18 to finish 10 under par and claim the green jacket at Augusta. The 25-year-old American finished 3 shots clear of Northern Ireland's Rory McIlroy, who shot an extraordinary 64. In his post-tournament speech, Scheffler said that the first time he thought of winning was probably Friday in the afternoon. When asked how it felt to be the Masters champion, he added that he wants to go home, he's pretty tired right now, and he's really at a loss for words. Scheffler had not won a tour event until this year, triumphing at the Phoenix Open in his 71st senior tournament, then adding 2 more victories at the Arnold Palmer Invitational and the WGC Dell Technologies Match Play. With his victory, Scheffler becomes the first player to win 4 times in a 6-start stretch on the PGA Tour since Jason Day in 2015. He becomes the 6th player to win in his first PGA Tour start as world number 1 and 6th world number 1 to win the Masters.
Wow, it sure is. What a beautiful strike from the top.
Scotty Scheffler. The emotions were there, the victory was there, but he is the champion of the Masters at Augusta in 2022. Now, Imran, we had a long discussion about this, but Scotty as a champion, tell us about this journey right now.
Well, he's a cool champion, isn't he? 25-year-old from Dallas, Texas, world number 1. I think we discussed before, it was all about Tiger. It is all about Tiger Woods. You know, the way we'll talk more about it, the way he's able to complete 4 rounds, making the cut. He was right in the mix with a, a 1 under par score on the first day. And considering that only 9 players have been able to break the par in 4 days. So this was very tough Masters Open, Augusta Masters. Considering that Dustin Johnson, when it becomes soft, so he was like 20 under for a Augusta Masters champion. But what a player! I think as a world number 1 coming into the, we discussed that he's very hot in terms of his results. 4 wins in 6 starts. This is amazing. There are players who do not have 4 wins in their whole career. So in about 2 months, capping it off with Augusta. Now he can play at for the lifetime over there. So I think great performance by the 25-year-old, and I think it's all about, Ahmad, keeping your nerves for anything, for any sport.
But that's very important, because then how do you prepare for a final? As you just had a chat, we saw those emotions there as well. So what's your mentality going into that final now, when you've understood, okay, now this is very close?
Well, reading about it, he didn't just cry after winning it. He was crying before the 4th round, and he cried for about 1 hour. So that's the kind of emotions. But when he's being asked that, how do you manage like after crying before the final round, because he was going in with the lead, and this is very rare that he led right from Friday. He took the lead on Friday and then led it all the way through. And apart from the final hole blip, with a double bogey for the 4-putt, on the last hole, still he had so much of lead, after a sensational 64 on the last day by Rory McIlroy. But, this shows off that, there's a lot which goes behind, in terms of becoming a champion. And a champion of, this is one tournament, Ahmad, and one major championship, whose venue doesn't change every year. Rest of the 3, all over the world, the venues change. So there's a lot of history. Of course, the Open is Open Championship, because the golf started from there, and Tiger is looking ahead to playing there also. But when it comes to Augusta, this is golf's history. And any winner over here, and then being able to play, because otherwise you have to qualify and you have to keep playing well all year long to qualify for such a major championship. But Scotty will be playing for all his life. We wish him all the success. But I think it was right there.
That's a good competition though. Rory McIlroy, I still remember the teenage Rory McIlroy back in the years, coming back strong, was a good competition.
Yeah, like Rory's already a legend, but he hasn't won this championship.
Yes.
So talk about a player who up till like 2 months ago, he didn't have a first win. So after the first win, in about 2 months, capping it off with a major championship in Augusta, this is huge for not just for Scotty, but all the young players that and when asked, he said it's all about Tiger. So Tiger was not just the inspiration before the tournament, like
even after it.
Yeah. So when there are blips, in 4 rounds, there are a lot of ups and downs.
But started well. Tiger started well. I mean, if we can come to Tiger, one thing we all understand, and we discussed this Imran also highlighted this, that he is really putting himself to the test physically and mentally.
I think he's been praising his team all 4 days, and I think this is a miracle when it comes to a player with steel screws in his foot and leg, and then being able to in 14 months, everybody thought that his career is done. He's been done for so many times, but he makes a comeback. But this time it was considering your leg is not there. But he has already won it on one leg, so he wanted to prove it. So this is grit and determination, and I think the whole world has appreciated, not just the golf players and the golf fans, but I think sports fans all over the world, sports greats, legends, they all have appreciated the way Tiger prepares, and this shows that is not just the hunger for participating and playing it again. He only plays, as we were discussing, Ahmad, he only plays to win. If he is not ready, he will not play a tournament, let alone a championship, which means so much to him, 5 jackets. But I think the playing 4 days, I think he's all set now to prepare himself more, for the 3 more championships coming. He has announced that he will not play, in 2 of the championship.
But he's announced he's playing in the British.
He's going to play the Open because Open at St. Andrews, from where the golf started, means so much to me. He's already won twice there. So I think, and people are saying that probably this is going to be his last, because as I told you, that the venue changes every year, and so it takes a while to for a championship to come back to St. Andrews again. But I think all depends on. I think he's not going to play for the next few weeks. But I think if he manages to stay healthy and stay healthy in the gym and prepares his body, so I think if not PGA, I think he would be playing either of the 2. If he plays PGA, he would skip the US Open. But playing the 2 is highly improbable. But I think before the Open, if his body is there and if he feels, because his game is always there.
Yeah, I want to talk about the game, because if, like you witnessed the Masters throughout, how did you find Tiger's game, if you look at it from a comeback perspective?
So -1 in under par playing on the first day, so he was right in the mix, in the top 5 or top 10. And I think this is how it goes. But I think the weather was so harsh that the players who were healthy, Kevin Kisner, who played with him on Saturday, he was saying that I'm so healthy and on top of my mental and physical game, and I feel exhausted. And he said it's unbelievable to see Tiger Woods, because we could not see that his shoulders were down or something, because apart from the harsh weather, it was very difficult to play in wind and in freezing cold. So I think he never showed. And this is a sign of a hallmark of a champion like Tiger Woods, that he never shows, how difficult it gets, because for him it's all about winning and the mentality which is there. So I think, so body staying up for 4 days. There has been a lot of swelling, post round and every day, and team has done well.
He said he'll freeze himself.
Yeah. So team has done well to recover him for the next day. So I think playing 4 days itself is the miracle, and I think it was very important for Tiger and his fans and sports fans all across. So Tiger has played the 4 rounds, so this means that he's looking ahead to playing more. So it was not just one comeback for a 6th green jacket or just participating it for fun. So so I think it's going to be great going ahead for all year long, because this was the first major championship. We have got 3 more to come, and I think with all these young players coming in and being inspired by Tiger, so that inspires Tigers more also. So they've been in touch with him, and he has praised all of them in terms of the way they motivated him, apart from his team, to make a comeback like that. So I think holds great for the year long, and I think the way Rory has come back in the he still has not won it. A player like Rory, with his caliber, with his experience and major championships in his bag. So I think Rory is going to be a major threat. Is going to be one of the favorites, if not the favorite, for the Open Championship. Being from Ireland, the championship being in the Open Championship is going to be in St. Andrews. So I think it's going to be great fun. And I think if Tiger is healthy, I think the betting targets would pitch both of them as the favorite for the Open Championship.
What makes Scotty #1 for people who want to know? What defines his game, especially seeing him win the Masters?
I think faith. I was seeing his post match ceremony interviews. So he talked about faith. So this shows that apart from the hard work, we are believers of faith, and I think it's great to hear that champions and sports champions and sports players, they talk about faith, that because he knew it as he was crying before the fourth round, so his girlfriend and wife, told him that, just put it up to God, because you can't do much about it. The only thing you can do is that just go and enjoy your round. So whether you win it after leading it for 3 days, or if you play over par, like 10 over par, the important thing is that, you've done what you could have done. You've prepared yourself as you have done. Three wins in about two months is huge.
But that's important for young fans out there to understand that in golf it's about patience, because you might be playing the best golf for the first couple of holes or the first, second round, but instantly it can go all bad, and that's completely natural. It happens.
Golf is the game of patience, and like we discussed that how golf can add value to your life, because apart from patience and focus and grit and determination, because it's like if you ask any golfer, of course, climbing Mount Everest is huge for anyone in his life, but winning Augusta is as huge as you could think of, because there's a lot which goes in terms of mental and physical exhaustion, how you prepare. There are people who play all their life, just for a chance to be there at Augusta Masters, and let alone someone who has just come in as a 25-year-old and as a hot favorite, and coming in and with all the nerves and everything, and you saw like 4 putts on the final hole. Doesn't happen, but this shows that this game is so humbling.
It looked like maybe the hole is cursed. Probably that's what the feeling was.
Yeah. But still he had it. Like he could have won it with 5, but still, and that shows the kind of game that he played. That with the kind of last round of Rory of 64, still he had so many strokes in his hand that a 4-putt double bogey. Still, he won it by 3. So I think this is all for all of us to look at. That even being young, it is all about staying patient, staying calm under pressure situation. And in golf, he's proven that he's one for the future, because with his faith, with his tee to green, he has no weakness. And Ahmad, I think he won this championship primarily because of his chipping. His chip-in birdie at the 3rd, which was a lucky one, as he said, but that got him going. So his nerves. He said that he was all with nerves, but with the kind of luck and a chip-in birdie. But it was all about making pars out of difficult situations. Tiger had a very good round, because Tiger is one of the best when it comes to scrambling. And Scotty, what he has proven with his chipping and shot game, that he has won this championship, which is one for the future.
The chipping was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think he was there because I think it all started, Ahmed, with his 2-1 Ryder Cup victory over John Rahm, the hottest player and the world number 1 at that time. And I think afterwards, in last year, in now 3 out of 4, he was in the top 10. So he was there, and he's there now. And I think there's going to be a lot of competition in every major championship, and this is great for the game itself to grow it all across the globe.
Definitely it is. Imran, thank you very much for joining us. Always great having you on the show, but especially when it comes to Masters, it becomes definitely more special and intriguing. So thank you very much for joining us. Now, before we say goodbye, we do have to send out a condolence message as well. Disappointing news came in a day back, where we got to know that former Test cricketer and spinner Mohammad Hussain has passed away at the age of 45. Pakistan Cricket Board also released a tweet where they said they were saddened by the passing of former Pakistan Test all-rounder Mohammad Hussain, and offered its sincere condolences to his family and friends. Of course, he was suffering from kidney-related illness. He was 45 years of age, played 2 Test matches and 14 ODIs for Pakistan between 1996 and 1998, making his debut against Zimbabwe in 1996 in a Test match in Faisalabad. And moving on, he had to wait for 2 years to play his next Test match, that against Australia in Rawalpindi, when they toured after 2 years in 1998. Then we talk about the one day. He was a regular member of the one-day squad in 36 one-day internationals, played almost half of them from May 1997 to April 1998, taking 13 wickets in the format, including a match-winning 4-4 in his effort against India in Bangladesh, winning the Silver Jubilee Cup as well. Our condolences from the team of Sports Extra, from PTV World, PTV in general, to the family of Mohammad Hussain. We pray for the departed soul. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him and grant courage to the family. But truly, a sad day for Pakistan cricket and a loss as well. On that note, that's all we have time for. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.